to ask a question of Gautam quickly. So, who would be the best captain out of this panel of six of
You.
us?
What nonsense is this? What kind of question is this?
You, absolutely.
We'll loop it and play it again and again.
You first get your internet sorted, Cyrus. Then you talk about all.
All right, run order time. Very excited. Finally, with some international quality commentators who've represented their countries. We have the return of Gautam Gambhir after a long time. I haven't met Gautam, I think, since 2018. And hi, Gautam, how's it? All good?
It's all good.
And Tom Moody joins us, I think, from, is it Perth or where are you, Tom?
No, I'm in Perth. Yep, I'm in Perth.
Yeah, all right. Which is perhaps a little closer to Mumbai than Delhi as far as I'm concerned. We have Ronak. And Ronak, the first topic is yours.
Thank you, Cyrus.
Welcome. Take 15 minutes to introduce it as usual, and we'll end it immediately.
It's a nice time to just think of, the impactful batsmen of the IPL as we come to the end of another edition. And I can't help but just keep thinking about David Warner. Just has propelled his team into the playoffs again when few people gave them a chance. He's had such a big impact in the IPL. He's an orange cap holder in 3 seasons. He's got 500 runs in more. He's got over 500 runs in multiple seasons now. No one scored more runs than him since 2014, and that's in spite of him missing a year. So the question I'd like to ask Tom Moody, of course, has worked so closely with David Warner and Gautam as well, who, of course, knows the IPL better than anybody. Is David Warner the IPL's greatest is a strong word, but most impactful, most valuable batsman? And I say that keeping in mind Chris Gayle, Virat Kohli, Suresh Raina, all of them.
Oh, look, my first impression when I heard that statement was it's pretty hard to argue against. And the reason being is David Warner brings the full package, not only the runs he scores, it's how he scores them and the effect that has on the outcome of games. David Warner is not only just the batsman at a franchise, he's arguably one of the best fielders in the tournament as well, and the impact he has there by holding down key fielding positions. And obviously now as a captain, he has a real influence as a leader and the effect he has from a leadership perspective.
Gautam, Tom says, I presume David Warner as good as we've got in the IPLs in all these 13 seasons.
It's difficult to go past someone like David Warner because obviously he captains the side, but someone who's very close to David Warner at the moment is KL Rahul. Obviously, he's not had the same impact because he hasn't won till now as a captain, because this was the first year he captained the side, but with the captaincy, he's been very successful as well. Someone who's got 400 or 500 runs or 600 runs in last 3 seasons has had a huge impact. Yes, I can still obviously go with David Warner because he's had a lot of responsibility on his shoulders, plus what he brings on the table as well, just as an overall package. But then KL Rahul brings equal amount of package as well. He keeps wicket. He's also a brilliant fielder, and he's very, very consistent. Probably with not that much of impact this time around with the strike rate because he was captaining the side. But yes, I think KL Rahul is very close to someone like David Warner from the impact point of view.
See, I think the point we're not able to understand is, so are we looking at the whole package? We just look at the runs as one thing, as a mathematical scorecard where he's got 31% of the runs on average of his team, David Warner, and that he's had an impact in every season, that he's never really failed, that he's won 2 or 3 tournaments, that he's won 3 orange caps. All that comes into play, or just the runs?
That is one thing. I just want to add one thing. There will always be more opportunity for players who bat in the top 3 to earn the orange cap. So that is something kind of a myth as well. Okay, you can't take it. Imagine if Andrew Russell would have opened the batting, and if Andrew Russell, the kind of impact he's had at number 6 or 7, obviously, orange cap will always be won by someone who opens the batting or probably bats at number 3. So that's not the right way to judge someone who's had an impact. But yes, purely from the amount of runs he scored. But yes, David Warner at the moment, because just from the overall package.
I'm a little worried that no one wants Gayle. I thought Gayle would have been the big shadow of the IPL, the Christopher Gayle shadow.
The thing about David Warner is also there's no apparent weakness. If you've actually noticed for Chris Gayle, there are still some weaknesses which opposition teams look to exploit. But Warner plays spin really well. Warner plays the quicks very well. I think if at all there's been some weakness, it's only now with the whole Jofra Archer matchup. But otherwise, every single year there hasn't been somebody who's actually got Warner out consistently. Another point is he plays for a franchise where the middle order has always been slightly not the best among the 8 teams. So the pressure on David Warner to perform every single season is so high, and he's failed. He's never failed.
I think if you look at the entertainment factor that batsmen have brought to the IPL, then Chris Gayle stands out. But as a package, I agree with what Gautam said, that invariably you're going to have 2 or 3 batsmen who bat in the top 3 to, keep winning the orange cap, or the chances of winning the orange cap is high. So in that sense, there's no surprise that a quality that David Warner has got. He's got the runs and he's got the orange cap. But it's more than just the runs, I think, and Tom would know this better, that as a package, he's led the team to 5 playoffs now. It's no joke for a team to, constantly make the playoff every single season. And he's also led them to the title in 2016.
What I'd be curious to know with Tom and Gautam is, let's assume you had Warner, Gayle and de Villiers all in their prime, all part of the auction, and you had to start building your team from scratch. Who are you buying first? Tom?
Yeah, no worries.
Unlimited funds.
I think let me answer it first by saying it depends on what Indian players you've already either retained or what you've targeted in the auction. So clearly de Villiers and Warner are 2 very different players because they play 2 different roles within the side. Personally, I think de Villiers is the freakiest player I've ever seen in T20 cricket. I think what he does is just so special and so far removed from everyone else in that role in the middle order. I would probably have to say de Villiers. But if I'm looking for an opening batsman, I would be going Warner.
Gautam, who would you plumb for?
See, mind you, we had 2, Warner and AB in Delhi. When Warner was young. But if I have to actually build my team around one of these 3 guys, it had to be David Warner, because I don't think that AB de Villiers is that great a leader. Yes, he is a freak. From that point of view, yes, as a batter, he's probably the most dangerous at the moment, but then I don't think so. He has that personality of being a leader. But had he had that, probably he would have captained RCB, because Virat Kohli hasn't Virat hasn't achieved a lot for RCB. Because that's not his personality, because whatever I've seen of him, I haven't shared a lot of dressing room with him, probably 1 or 2 years. But then yes, probably David Warner as a leader. But ultimately, team sport is all about winning titles.
Yeah.
AB de Villiers might have had a lot of impact in IPL cricket because he's played a lot of cricket at Chinnaswamy. Virat Kohli has got more runs than any other player. Chris Gayle has had an impact. But these guys have not played a lot of cricket at Sunrisers Hyderabad or KKR, where wicket was turning, gripping, or in Chennai. So that's the reason why I always believe that probably sometimes I think the record is probably too overrated.
For once we have a panel, full agreement. David Warner rocks.
What do you think, Cyrus? What do you think?
I'm a big Aussie fan. Tom knows that. Gautam is here, so be careful. But be on that line.
But you got to have Cyrus in this list as well.
Yeah, I think so. I have to bat later in the order, Gautam, as you said. And my wickets here in Malwa Hill are the worst. All right. Anyway, thank you guys. It's been a wonderful discussion. We're trying to keep it as short as possible, and hopefully we'll come back and chat some more.